Welcome back, Hustle Machine crew. We are going to be talking about how hustle culture doesn't build communities. It builds what can I get from you networking. Brought to you by Two Guys in a Hat.
Boo.
Did you like that?
Your cold open was so smooth.
Did you like it?
Yeah, behind the scenes, we tried that I don't know how many times, and I just could not get it out.
The thing is,
Zach's like Barry White, like
I know.
and then like he just steps in, he's like, "This is what we're talking about today," and I was like, "Oh, that's really good. I'm impressed."
Well, you know, the thing is, I'm a seasoned professional. What can I say? I have a cold. I think it's a cold. I don't know what it is. It's not COVID.
Let's hope it's cold.
But like, I've got like the deep voice today. I got like the radio voice.
You got the
like
Phoebe
smooth jazz.
You got the what was it from Friends? Phoebe Buffay. She got the sexy voice.
Bro, I don't know.
Yeah, she had the cold and like everything sounded like she thought she sounded amazing.
I wear my hat backwards. I only watch cool shows. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Moving on. Oh, what are you drinking out of?
You like that?
Yeah.
To all of our YouTube viewers, if you're listening to this and you have not seen our YouTube channel, go over, look at it. Look at it.
Just go look at us.
Would you look at that? Just look at it.
Just look at it.
No, so go to our I can't get past it. Go over to our YouTube channel. You can see some of the things that we've made for ourselves that we would like to sell as well. So if you're interested in mugs, t-shirts, hats, those things will be coming very soon. If you wanted just a bumper, like this little logo sting, as Jason called it, but also I call it a bumper. Look, I'm touching it. So never mind. If you want a bumper for any reason that promote our show, you can have it as well. We'll send that to you.
If you want to put it on a random TV or computer in your office and just look at it throughout the day, we'll send you the file. Yeah, we'll send you the file.
So let's get into it, man. So we are talking today about hustle culture. Now, not all of our episodes are going to be centered around hustle culture, and you've probably already seen some of that. We talk a lot about entrepreneurship. We talk a lot about talking towards creators, how dealing with clients, and there's all kinds of a broad spectrum. However, what kind of started this whole podcast,
this whole crazy ride?
Well, first let's introduce ourselves because we didn't even do that. So I'm Zach. We're 9 minutes in. We still haven't done that. Or not even 9 minutes. We're
10
6
minutes
in.
10
whatever.
Minutes. Ding, ding, ding.
10 minutes.
Or no, actually,
I don't even know.
That timer's wrong.
That timer's wrong. So I'm Zach. This is Jason. We are co-hosts of Hustle Machine, where we redefine what the meaning of hustle culture is. We've seen a problem in that culture that is me and Jason both come out of. We've dealt with it ourselves. But it doesn't mean you can't hustle, and it doesn't mean you can't give up. That if you don't do it the way that everybody else does it, doesn't mean that you can't reach your dreams and get to where you want to be in your career. So we're redefining what that looks like, and honestly, it's kind of like a support group, and that's kind of like good segue. I'm getting good at segues. Not the thing that from the early 2000s, everybody's doing those segues, but not those. I've actually never been on one of those, and I know that I'm terrible on a skateboard. I tried when I was a kid, and I was not very good at it. So I'm imagining if I look on a Segway, it'd be like, it looks like you're riding like a vacuum cleaner backwards. Like if you would imagine standing on a traditional vacuum and leaning forward, that's what it looks like. Yeah. Okay, so just got that mental picture in your head. Okay, so what we're talking about today is specifically about not work culture, hustle culture, in the sense that a lot of hustle culture is formed around these groups that you can join, you can be a part of,
Yeah.
And the problem with those is that we've seen for ourselves, and being a part of some of those in the past, that it ends up being just a marketing ploy for that particular individual or that company that they've formed. And what happens is it doesn't create true, long-lasting, effective community. It creates more of, what can I get from you? What can you do for me? Networking. And there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with networking, and in fact, I love networking. Networking is like one of my favorite things to do, but I think you got to be careful with it. And when you get into those types of groups, it becomes where you become unmotivated. Sometimes you become broke because you end up spending more and more money.
On the program, trying to buy into a higher level. Well, I get it.
And it becomes a time suck, because we were a part of one where there was like these certain meetings we had to attend. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we had to be on certain ones at certain times, and it was like, ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? Like,
they tried to make several to make it convenient, but as soon as you get on it, it's like you're lining up for the door to get somebody to give you something. And I don't know, it wasn't structured well to a point where it was actually helpful. It just seemed kind of like a waste of time,
100% felt like a waste of time. And we didn't stay long in that group, actually.
I want to say something. So today we're talking about hustle culture.
Say something. Say it.
So I'm saying.
I can't ever say that right.
So we're talking about hustle culture. That's what the whole reason we started this show was a counter to hustle culture. I just want to clearly say that you can hustle, like work hard, but when hustle culture, when it over the last umpteen years that it's been growing and growing, especially I guess within like I would say largely probably within the millennial age groups, that as it's grown, it's turned into this overworking, so like 100%. You can hustle, but you don't have to overwork. Like you can work hard, but you don't have to overwork. Right. And I think that's probably what we're going to be talking about. But I just, when I see, for me, we've said for years, even before we started the show, man, I'm hustling to get this done. That just means I'm working hard, but when an entire company and when your entire work ethic becomes hustle culture, to the point where, it's where you're pushing your body too far and you have breakdowns, and you do need an environment like this show as like your midweek therapy to get through some of that trauma. That's where everything starts to tip on the scales to become toxic. And that's what we're fighting against. That's why we're trying to grow this hustle machine community into something that is pure, right? And so talking about those communities, maybe they were started with good intentions. Maybe they were started with the sole purpose of trying to get somebody to buy something under the guise that it's trying to benefit and be helpful. Sure. Whatever it is, we're starting ours with the purpose of building community, creating relationships among people who are trying to work hard, but also maintain balance. And
good. Well, I know I started off by saying they try to sell courses and sell all these things. That is something that we will be providing at some point down the line. But I think the idea is not creating a cult. So like, if you choose to do the courses, great. If you choose not to do the courses, also great.
Yeah.
If you choose to be a part of any live events that we do, great. If you choose not to be part of some of those live events, great. The point is not to feel pressured, because that's one of the things we talked about in the last episode, is this culture where it's like there's this this guilt that gets put on you.
There's no point system. There's nobody keeping tally. Right. There's no rewards other than you hitting your own goals and being super pumped about that. Like,
what we want to do is create a culture that's life-giving, that is giving. That's nice. Giving, well, it's nothing new. It's something that gets used a lot, but it's a life-giving thing. Like, that's what we want to do, because entrepreneurship can be such a lonely thing. It can be such a lonely thing. And I think that, to our point last time, is you get so burnt out that you throw your hands up and go, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. Because you're doing it solely by yourself. And that's exactly right. We don't want you to give up, because you started out with a vision, with a dream, with a goal in mind, and we want to help you get there. Just like me and Jason also are owners of Market House. And we say it to our clients all the time, is like, we're not just your traditional website development company. What we want to do is partner with you to see you grow, because when you succeed, we succeed. Yeah. And we're translating that over into Hustle Machine. When you guys succeed in this community, because you're linking arms with one another and encouraging each other not to give up. And you can talk a little bit about one of the cultures that you're in with your t-shirts, where there is that camaraderie. When somebody feels like giving up, or they're not inspired, or they're stuck, or they just don't know what to do next, you've got a group of people who understand, and they come and link arms with you and say, you're not giving up. We're not letting you give up. Right. Because of, now, if there's a detriment happening to you where you physically do need to stop, then that's a different story. But no, but I mean, for me, to your point right there, is, so I have my whole t-shirt business on the side. That's my side hustle on top of this hustle, which is another hustle on top of a hustle. So we all have hustles. I've said hustle so many times that I've lost all meaning now, but I have a side hustle for t-shirts. And several years ago, 9 or 10 years ago, I started out, I really wanted to make an impact, got nowhere, literally got nowhere. And I tried that for 9 months, maybe 12 months, and just fizzled. And I gave up, got really down about it, and then just moved on. And then all the while I was still designing and I was still drawing, but I wasn't trying to illustrate t-shirts. I wasn't like doing it for anything other than just freelance work. And then about 4 years ago ish, something like that, I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this another try. And I got into it, and I saw some success. I was like, okay, well, this is better than the first time. I've obviously grown. I've been designing for, 6-7 more years now. Or I don't know maths, but I've been designing for several more years at that point. Maths. I love That's that. Very English thing to say, I guess. But yeah, I've been designing for longer, and so my skills had improved remarkably. And I was like, okay, well, I'm better at this now, and which was like a duh statement. But I saw some success. It was up and down. And I was about like a year in or so, and I was still just alone, just like no community. And I kind of was like, I could keep going with this. I could not. I've made some money. It's okay. Like it was like something to do. And then I reached out to one of the other artists in the community, and I was like, hey, I like your designs. I just wanted to like know him as a person because I thought his stuff was cool. And then struck up conversation with them, became friends. And then several months down the line, we connected with another larger group, and we started, growing, and I got invited to another group, and now we've continued to grow. And it's a great community, because you can chit chat about your day, or you can talk about things you're going through as a freelance designer. So I said all that to say, when you're growing with a community around you, you can use it as much or use it as little as you want to hopefully positive effects. Because
I felt like I might fizzle out and give up again. But when I found the community who helped to continually inspire me and give me feedback on designs week after week after week, I don't want to give up, and I have no intention of giving up, and I don't feel like I would get to that point for a while. I mean, every once in a while you do have, your valleys where you're feeling maybe kind of low about something with work, but that's why you have community to help lift you up. That's why you have friends and and mentors and peers that can help lift you. And that is the crux of what we want to build here. And that's our whole fight against the toxicity of what hustle culture has become, because, you need balance. You need community. Like when you're going alone and trashing every relationship you have, all for the end goal of what you think will make you happy, you're destined for failure.
Well, and we've said it a million times, like there's no guarantee that you're going to get there. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I've said that a million times, like there's no guarantee. You could sacrifice like crazy. You could sacrifice literally everything. Like you could literally sacrifice everything you own and say, well, it's all for the good cause. It's going to pay off in the end. And it never pays off in the end.
Last week you talked about that guy at the gym who's like, if you're not down here, you're less than. You're like, what the heck are you doing with your life? It's like shaming into overworking. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know what the end goal in that is. It's like, I mean, some people respond to that really just like harsh criticism to like spurn, great movements and actions. But there was something I wrote down earlier when we were talking about this show, and this is my thought, and then I'll let you move on because I know you're really passionate about this topic. But overworking, overworking is not the road to respect. It's the road to ruin. It's the road to personal ruin. It's the road to family ruin, business ruin. Like, what's at the end of the road when you've ruined your relationships and hurt your body? That's something that we need to talk about as well. Like, is the whole fitness and health aspect of overworking and like what that does to jack up your body. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a perfect episode coming up soon. Is what can happen as a result physically of overworking and hustle culture, But yeah, it's overworking. Overworking is not the road to respect. It's the road to ruin. Just flat out.
It is. And we've seen it a million times. And I'd love to get other people on the show that have gone through it. Come out on the other end and saying, listen, I thought this is what I wanted, and I thought this is how I could get it. But I've learned that there's another way. There's another way to do this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't require me to, I think we said, but last episode of like leaving a wake of bodies behind me and in the pursuit of it. And I think that's the misconception that ends up happening is I've got to do it this way. And if I'm not doing it this way, then what am I even doing?
Yeah. Well, that's the really hard thing about, you have a bookshelf full of the people that inspire you. And this is general you, not just you do, but you have a bookshelf full of people that inspire you and give you thoughts and ideas, right? And you look to those people on the bookshelf to give you guidance in the new area of your life, because a lot of people are new to entrepreneurship that are going to be listening to this show, I would think, right? We're talking about hustlers, we're talking about side hustlers, people who are turning that passion into your day job, right? And you look to this bookshelf full of people to inspire you, and so you take their words for gold. And unfortunately, a toxic book might slip onto your shelf. Toxic thinking, it's really easy to slip right in and go, you know what? Everything that they have to say is fire. This person is killing it. They've got all these different business ventures. everybody looks up to them. They've got umpteen million followers on Instagram, and they're dropping reels all the time, and people are quoting them. They must know what they're talking about. So what they say is gold. So I need to, man, if they're doing all this stuff, people are looking at their age, right? They're going like, oh gosh, I'm 35. I need to, and this person's not even my age. What am I doing? I guess I need to work harder. It's like,
yeah.
I need to get going. And it's when you start to compare yourself or to see those toxic figures who might, wiggle their way into your feeds, into your stream, that starts to shift your thinking and to poison you. And gosh, that's what turns into what we're going to talk about next, is that when you join these groups and join communities or whatever, and that goal is no longer pure to build community. That goal has then turned into, what can I get from you? Like, what is this relationship going to give me? And you start measuring the relationships and interactions that you have with this poisoned scale that says, gosh,
Well, in the back of your mind, you're saying, well, ooh, I've got these people that I can sell this to, or ooh, I can pitch this and this and this to them.
Yeah.
And obviously you want to find business opportunities, and I'm not shooting that down. I think that what we don't want to happen with Hustle Machine, and when we form this new group, is, again, we want it to be life-giving. We want it to be pure. We want it to be where people are honest and raw about their struggles with entrepreneurship and the things that they're dealing with on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
One of the best things I have done as of late, in I would say past 3 months, is I've joined a group of guys to meet once a month, and we just talk. We're all entrepreneurs. Sometimes there's 3 of us there. Sometimes there's 5 of us there. We have a couple other people who are wanting to come in as well. So, I mean, it could be 7 or 8 people in the room that are all entrepreneurs. They're all guys. And that's all we talk about is, man, what do you do with this? Like, we've talked about anything from taxes to finances to budgeting to hiring to like all these things. And we go, I always leave with something going, I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point. Yeah. That's what we want to create with Hustle Machine culture.
Yeah.
Is that not listen to Jason and Zack talk, and Jason and Zack are the gurus. No, we're absorbed in it and we love this. This is something that we love and we want to recreate and change.
Yeah.
But it's not just us. We want it to be so much that
we're just 2 guys in hats.
Two guys in hats. Nice circle back. I like that. You working on your segues too. I like that.
Yeah, man. Full circle. But yeah, for me, and it's not just like Facebook groups and stuff. I quit LinkedIn for a really long time. I still have beef with the whole LinkedIn mentality because it's a poisoned, what's the phrase? It's a poisoned well. So like it can be. Yeah, it can be. There's a lot of people who get value from those relationships. And like, you might like actually talk to people and build community. But I feel, for me personally, for a really long time, people were only engaging with me to get something. And, I was just a marketing director for a company. Like, I was nothing compared to some of these people. And you think about some of these other people who get people reaching out to them. Some of these people who have, big C-level, C-suite, level positions, and they are, they're getting just hammered on messages like, hey, can you connect me with such and such person? Hey, can you introduce me to such? It's like,
but at the same time, that's what it was designed for. You know what I mean? Like, that's what LinkedIn is for. It's a networking tool. So that it would be the same as if you went to a networking event.
It is, but when I need a little romance, because for me, without a conversation or any kind of connection or anything before,
Jason needs to be. You need to be wooed.
I need to be wooed. Yeah. No, for real though, because I feel like it breeds that potential for toxicity where it's just like connect. It's like you lose all thought and you're just like, I need to connect. I need to connect with as many people as you can. And you're not creating meaningful relationships. So it's like, to me, like it would be a nice test to go, okay, so let me go on and send connection requests to 50 potential influential people, 50 people who are influential to foster some type of connection with. Or do I go and try and develop one specific meaningful relationship within that community? Like, do I actually put effort into creating it, or just go like join what is it? Follow or whatever the button is. I mean, I stopped for such a long time because it was just, I couldn't take it. There were no meaningful interactions. And that's what I'm getting at. It's when there are no meaningful interactions within a community and it just becomes the routine of follow and post. Like for years as a marketing director, I would be like, listen, guys, you need to talk to the sales team. I'm like, listen, you guys got to use LinkedIn. Like, I don't want to use LinkedIn. I just want to work phone leads. And it's like, well, you know what? You need to build yourself up as a valuable asset to the company. So you need to work your connections. You need to network. So you have to do it. And so it's like, okay, well, what do I have to do? Okay, go to LinkedIn. You got to post something. You got to share something, and you got to comment, make a message or something. And when I feel like I just got jaded when I was like pushing people to just use this formulaic approach to building community, it was just killing me on the inside. But with all that said, I have over the last couple of months started to use it again a little bit, just here and there. Like I'll get on, I'll like something, I'll connect with somebody. I'm like, oh yeah, hey, I never really connected with that guy. Yeah. And so I'm giving it another shot. But I think the whole thing is when your approach to it is, what can I get to this? I need to go. I need to do this. You know, I'm constantly working people. You know, when it becomes that, it's like, what's the point? I just feel like it just burned me out. Not that I was doing it, people were doing it to me. It was burning me out.
Yeah, and oftentimes you can get in these groups and you can see that you can see who's active, the most active.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes you can see if they're real or if they're fake, if they're just in there just doing it as being genuine. Because I've had several times I've gotten a part of some of these groups, and some of the people will reach out to me and I'm like, oh, this is a genuine connection. I really like this. And then eventually it's like, hey, can I help you with this, and this? And I'm like, oh gosh. Okay.
Yep.
No.
It's a sneak attack.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
No. Or that's not what we want this culture to be. If it ever gets to that point, I want it called out. You know what I mean?
Shut
like,
it down.
Want it to be shut everything down. What did I see? Where Elon Musk he bought Twitter, and then he said, somebody put like a fake one that said, next up is I'm buying Facebook and I'm deleting it.
The one I saw was it was a conversation between him and Jeff Bezos, and then Jeff Bezos goes, hey man, I heard you're going to buy Twitter. He goes, yeah, I'm going to buy Amazon next. He's like, I'd like to see you try. And it's a picture of Elon Musk, and it says like, add to cart. And so he's like, added Amazon to his cart.
That was awesome. So I think really just to kind of sum everything up, I think this is my classic move where I always in my talking points with, let's just sum it all up. To sum it all up for me is be careful when you get into these groups that tout themselves as the hustle group, or we're going to take you to the next level. Some of those are genuine. Some of those are really, really genuine. But I would just say, go look for those groups that are going to bring true value to you. And if you're in a bunch of groups and none of them are bringing value to you, get out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of them. Same thing with Hustle Machine. If you get into Hustle Machine and you don't find any value from it, first let us know why. But so we can make some changes. But by all means, like, don't stick around if you
get lost,
you're not getting value from it. It's not a mean way. It's just it's being genuine. Like, you legit need to find things that are going to bring value to you.
Right.
And oftentimes these hustle culture groups that are created, you're not going to type hustle culture group and find one, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you get in them.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when you get in these groups, you should take what is it, the 30,000 foot view, and just step back for a minute and go, is this bringing value to me?
Right.
And if it's not, if the answer is no, then get out of it.
Yeah.
Get out of it.
Well, it's like what when we were recording our show that's coming out in May with Winject.com and Chris Ross. We were talking about the origins of Hustle Machine and growing our own community and stuff like that. For me, it's where's your joy lie? Like, where is that joy? If your joy lies in working insanely hard and destroying all your relationships, maybe you should talk to somebody about that. But if your joy lies in having a healthy life and providing for yourself or a family and being successful, work to find that joy, but make sure that you keep that joy at the forefront of everything, because once you start to have unhealthy habits and behaviors that are coming from toxic hustle culture, you need to be aware of that, because that can affect that ultimate joy. That can start to chip away at that thing that you find your joy in. So just keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for those toxic groups that we should create, that push the wrong direction.
We should create like a tongue-in-cheek, like I almost said bingo card, but it's not. It would be like more of like a checklist. Mm-hmm. Does this group do these things? Then run. Yeah. like get out of it. And then you could just have it up and go, okay, it does that. Okay, delete,
unfollow.
So I think that's the biggest thing. We have a lot of good stuff coming about some of this hustle culture stuff, and again, we want to
interviews.
Yeah, we have interviews. I'd love to bring people on who've if you're listening to this and you've come out of that hustle culture, you've been so burnt out that you're like, I got to make a massive shift. We want to hear that story.
Right.
And we'll kind of share we've shared little bits of ours. And I think one of the biggest ones, like you said, Jason, was the effects of hustle culture on your health and what it can do to you. Yeah. Is a really, really good one. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. So I think we should definitely do that. On that note,
let's roll that beautiful beam footage.
Boom.
See you guys. Bye. Yeah, it is. Crap. Not a sponsor. Which is baked beans, not a sponsor. There we go. Now we're covered. Okay, see you guys.
We're good.
Next week.
Later.